Want to know the fastest way to lose a prospect's trust? Hide your prices. And most coaches are doing that without even realizing they're sabotaging themselves. Hey coach, I'm Ronnie Noyes, and last video we talked about why sales conversations feel so uncomfortable. And the solution was simple. Stop selling to people and start selling for them. But here's the obvious question. Okay, Ronnie, but how do I actually do that? What does that look like in real life? So in this video, I'm starting a 3-part series on how exactly to talk about money with your prospects. Part 1 is all about transparency. Part 2 is all about respect. And part 3 is about confidence. By the end of today's video, you'll know exactly what to say, when to say it, and how to be completely transparent about your pricing without scaring people away. Let me walk you through it. By the way, I've created a free workbook to help you get the most out of this video. You can download it at the link below. Okay, so first, let's talk about what I mean by transparency, because I'm not just talking about putting your prices on your website, although that is part of it. Transparency means your prospects know exactly what they're getting into before they ever set up a meeting with you. No surprises, no hidden agenda, no bait and switch. And I know what you're thinking. But Ronnie, if I put my prices out there, people won't book meetings with me. They'll just look at the price and decide it's too expensive without even talking to me. And you're right. Some people will do exactly that. But think of it this way. Do you want to spend up to an hour meeting with someone who was never going to pay your prices anyway? Or would you rather have that hour back to talk to someone who's actually ready to invest in themselves? Transparency saves you time. It saves your prospects time, and it builds trust. Because when someone books a discovery meeting with you and they already know roughly how much you charge, they're taking you seriously. They're not just curious. They're actually interested. So just so you know, when I say meeting, I mean a phone call or Zoom call or even a meeting on site in person, whatever you do. So what does this transparency actually look like? Let me break it down into detail so it makes sense. Number 1, full disclosure of meeting purpose. This one is huge, and most coaches completely skip it. Before someone comes into a meeting with you, they need to know what's going to happen in that meeting. They need to know what you're going to talk about. They need to know what to expect. Why? Because nobody likes to be ambushed. Nobody likes to show up for what they think is a friendly chat or a free coaching session and then get pitched. That feels manipulative. That feels like bait and switch. Because it is, and let's be real, that is straight up deceptive. So you tell them up front. You say, hey, we're going to talk about where you are, where you want to be, and whether it makes sense for us to work together to get there. And at the end of our conversation, if I think I can help you, I'll tell you about my programs and my pricing. But if I don't think I'm the right fit, I'll tell you that too, and I'll give you some other options. See how that works? Now they know exactly what's coming. No surprises, no gimmicks, no tricks, just transparency and honesty. Number 2, make your pricing available in advance. This is the issue that makes a lot of coaches nervous, but it's also the one that changes everything. You don't have to put your exact prices on your website if you don't want to. Now, I always did because I believe in full transparency, but you don't have to, although you should absolutely at least give people a range or a starting point, or at minimum, make it really easy for them to find out what you charge. Here's what I did that worked really well. I had a page on my website that lists my programs and the investment for each one. And before someone books a consultation with me, I send them a link to that page in their confirmation email. Why? Because I want them to know what they're considering before we talk. I want them to do their own math. I want them to think about whether this is something they're willing to invest in. And yeah, some people see the price and cancel or don't show up for the call. And that's okay, because they weren't going to hire me anyway. Now I've got that hour back. But the people who do show up, they are serious. They've already decided that if I'm the right fit, they're ready to invest. So the conversation is totally different. It's not about convincing them or even selling them on the idea of working together. It's about figuring out how we should work together. Number 3, show them what working with you looks like. People need to see themselves working with you before they can commit. That's how most of our brains work. So you need to give them a picture, even a mental picture of what that looks like. And there are a bunch of ways to do this. You can use case studies to show them someone who was in their situation and what happened after they worked with you. You can walk them through your client roadmap, show them step by step what progress and the process looks like. You can show them testimonials and reviews from people who sound like them. The point is to make it real for them, to help them imagine what it would be like to say yes and to work with you. And this doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a simple PDF. It can be a page on your website. It can even be you talking them through it during the meeting. But they need to see it. They need to mentally picture it. And if they can see something that shows what their journey with you will look like, their transformation itinerary, if you will, if they can understand what will happen when they work with you, that they'll definitely be in a different place, whatever that means for them, then it becomes real. Number 4, set clear expectations. This is the part that is so easy to skip and too many people do. And it's the part that causes the most problems later. People need to know what you expect from them and what they can expect from you before they meet with you, before they hire you. So how often will you meet? How will you communicate between sessions? What happens if they miss a session? What's your cancellation policy? What happens if it's not working out? All of that needs to be crystal clear from the beginning, because when expectations are unclear, people are disappointed, and disappointed clients don't refer their friends to you. They don't renew, and sometimes they ask for refunds. But when expectations are clear, even if things don't go perfectly, people feel taken care of. They feel respected. They feel like you're professional and organized, and they feel like they got what they paid for. Okay, so here's how you put all of this together. And this is one of my favorite tools, the Consultation Confirmation, which I like to send as an email, but could also be a personalized private video. When someone books a discovery meeting or sales consultation with you, you send them an email or video that covers everything we just talked about. It tells them the purpose of the meeting. It gives them your pricing information or a link to it. It sets expectations for the meeting. It asks them to prepare. Here's what's brilliant about this. By the time they get on the call with you, they already trust you because you've been so transparent and so professional. You've shown them exactly what to expect. You've treated them like an adult who can make their own decisions. Let me walk you through what this email or personalized video includes. First, you thank them for booking and include a reminder that there is no charge for the consultation. I mean, if that's your policy. If you do charge for sales consults, that's okay. And it's pretty standard to have a lower fee for a consult than a regular session. So it's best to mention it right here in this confirmation. Then you tell them exactly what's going to happen in the meeting, an agenda recap. You explain that you're going to discuss their situation, explore whether working together makes sense, and if it does, you'll share information about your programs and pricing. You also tell them that you only work with people who are a good fit. And if they're not a good fit, you'll tell them and you'll give them referrals to other resources. This is huge because it shows them that you're not desperate. You're not going to try to force a sale. You're trying to help them find the right solution, even if it's not you. Then you give them the logistics, date, time, where you're meeting, or how to join the call, like a link or a phone number. You ask them to prepare by thinking about specific questions. Now, my questions might not be the same as yours because I was a marketing coach, but I'm sure you know what questions they should consider. This email or video does so much heavy lifting for you. It builds trust, qualifies your prospect. It makes the actual conversation so much easier because by the time they show up, they already know what's coming. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the description to my free workbook for this video so you can adapt this to your own business. And trust me, start using something like this and your sales conversations will completely change for the better. Here's what happens when you're this transparent. First, you filter out people who aren't serious. The tire kickers disappear. The people who just want free advice disappear. The people who could never afford you disappear. And that's a good thing because now you're only talking to real prospects, people who are actually ready, willing, and committed to transformation. And their only question is, will they work on that transformation with you? Second, you build massive trust before the meeting even happens because you've been so open and honest. You haven't tried to hide anything or trick them. You've treated them with respect. Third, the actual sales conversation gets so much easier because they already know your prices. They already know what to expect. They're already halfway to yes just by showing up. And fourth, you feel better about the whole thing because you're not hiding anything. You don't have to dread revealing your pricing structure. You're being professional and transparent. Okay, let's review what transparency looks like in the sales process. 1. Full disclosure of the meeting purpose. Tell them what's going to happen in the meeting. 2. Make pricing available in advance. Give them a range or a starting point. 3. Show them what working with you looks like. Case studies, roadmaps, review. 4. Set clear expectation. Tell them what you expect from them and what they can expect from you. And the best way to do all of this, send a consultation confirmation email or video that covers all these points. Next time, we're getting into part 2 of this series, how to talk about money respectfully. Because transparency is great, but it only works if you're also respecting your prospect's autonomy and their decision-making process. So make sure you're subscribed for that. And if you want that free workbook I mentioned, check the description. I'll put a link down there for you. Drop a comment and tell me, are you being transparent about your pricing right now, or are you hiding it? No judgment. I'm just curious. Thanks for watching, Coach. I'm Ronnie Noyes, reminding you that today is a great day to be a coach.